What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more J-drama score / soundtrack, and perhaps in this case soundtrack would be more appropriate. And yeah, I keep evolving my thoughts about what J-drama reactions to do. Obviously it's like one of a few different types of reaction series, or watch-alongs rather, I'm doing on my Patreon. But again, J-drama has long been a big interest of mine, and the fact that there's now a handful of folks, and Michaela in particular, and Kim, who's been just about to finish Okitagami Kyoko's Memorandum. It's really enjoyable for me, because now I can talk about some of these shows that I've enjoyed for years with other folks who have become great friends of the channel, so big shout out to all of you. And yeah, I think after I finish Notame Cantabile, I may push back River Edge Detective Agency, and I also want to do Hanayori Dango, which is the third of the 3 shows that really got me into J-drama to begin with. And if I do Hanayori Dango, well then I have to do Hana no Shihare. So I think my plan is to do Notame, then Kurokochi, then do the 2 Hana shows, if you will, and then get to River Edge Detective Agency. So big plans, and on the timeline I'm going through, that may only be a couple months to get through all those shows, but even if it takes a little bit longer than that, we are talking, you know, in the first half of this year, certainly. So hopefully folks are along for the ride. As I said, we're going to listen to a tune from Kurokochi 2013, a show starring Nagase Tomoya, obviously a bit older than in My Boss My Hero, as well as Aragaki we know Gouriki Ayame, who folks who've seen Antiquarian Bookshop Biblia will know she's the main character, or one of the 2 main characters of that, along with Akira, or Akira. In any case, yeah, it's a show about a real-life, at least officially unsolved crime, where about 300 million yen was stolen from a police vehicle, by someone, or from a bank vehicle rather, by someone who was pretending to be a bike cop. And so this show, as well as some others over the decades, but this show basically tries to come up with, you know, what if this is what happened? And ultimately, it's a long, complicated story. The main character, Kurokochi, is, let's say, unsavory in that he'll break any rule or, you know, protocol of investigation if it means he can figure out what actually happened. So I mean, literally the show asks you, pretty much every episode, but certainly multiple times as the show goes along, we're asking you what's right and what's wrong. Is breaking a bunch of rules to figure out, like, who did some crime a long time ago, like, is that justified, or does that mean, like, the ethics of you finding out the truth of that earlier case are muddied by your own actions in the present? It's very complicated, but in a very compelling way. So yeah, it's a detective show with a lot of murky sort of noir elements, and again, an anti-hero, although the Gouriki Ayame character is, let's say, more traditionally ethically oriented in her pursuit of justice, but she comes to see through her involvement with Kurokochi that things aren't always that simple. So in any case, we're going to listen to a tune by one of the 2 composers to the soundtrack. This one is Dewa Yoshiaki, and I'm trying to remember the name of the other composer. I have the Drama Wiki page out, and just for those interested on Drama Wiki, it's spelled Kurokochi, like Kurokochi, as I'm spelling it here, though as you can see, it's written like Kuro Coach when they translated it into English. In any case, the name of the other composer is Habuka Yuri, that's right. And the way the track list is broken down, it's like the first, what is it? The first 12 tracks are by Dewa Yoshiaki, and then the remaining 12 tracks are by Habuka Yuri. So it's just split right in half. In any case, we're going to listen to, forgetting in the moment which tune it is. Oh, it's the Watchtower. That's right. We're going to listen to the Watchtower, which I can't think of anything specifically in the narrative that relates to a watchtower, so I feel like it's more a conceptual title. And indeed, there's, you know, Money Talks is one of the titles, Cold Case, Cold Fish, Labyrinth, Retrospect. They're all sort of like conceptual words in the score. So, although Face the Playboy is in there, I don't remember what tune that is or necessarily the significance. In any case, let's hear it. This is The Watchtower by Dewa Yoshiaki from the 2013 show / soundtrack. to Kurokochi, which apparently is translated in the English release to Kuro Coach, but I just keep calling it by the Japanese title, which is the name of the main character. So here we go, The Watchtower by Dewa Yoshiaki. Again, all the shows I just mentioned, Hanayori Dango. Indeed, I was remembering there's another show I have. It's called 35-Year-Old High School Student, and it's not the same premise, but it's kind of like the female version of My Boss, My Hero, and that a woman who's in her mid-30s for a different reason is going back to high school and pretending to be younger than she is. So perhaps we'll go through that one at some point, which obviously I was thinking of because of My Boss, My Hero. Nevertheless, yeah, I'm excited to go through all the shows I mentioned, but I feel like this would be a cool show to do next because it'll already feature people who've been seen by those watching the J-dramas on Patreon in a couple different shows, and now, you know, together in characters that are very different from what we've seen them in. You know, Nagase Tomoya character very different from Makio and the character that Hiragaki Wii. Why do I keep wanting to call her that? I guess because I was just talking to Kim about Kitagami Kyoko, so it's in my mind. But the Gouriki Ayame character, definitely different from her character in Antiquarian Bookshop Biblia. So yeah, like I said, I'm excited to go through all these different J-dramas, as well as the other watch-alongs. The Blackadder, I started doing a Death Note watch-along because some people were asking about anime. I still intend on getting back to the Cloven watch-along. I still intend on getting back to more of those 30s movies. Indeed, the last couple of days I've been trying to like work that in, but it's, you know, going to be a longer watch-along, you know, like an hour and a half, 2 hours, so I haven't been able to work it in. But I haven't forgot about any of these things, so shout out to those here for sort of the extra stuff, and, you know, perhaps stuff that is different from the reason why a lot of people joined my YouTube channel to begin with, you know, for specific like band reactions and so on. So big shout out to all the people here. You do mean a lot. Let me know what you think of this tune. I will see you next time. Peace.